Well, lads, we are back at it yet again, replicating another house into Minecraft as realistically as possible. Now, today we have a very special home, and I'm sure a lot of us can agree that this home holds a ton of nostalgia and overall is just very iconic. So a few days ago, I set out on a mission to build the McAllister house from the Home Alone series, and I wanted to make it look so close to the real thing that it could trick people into thinking that it's a real image. I got on Google and found my images to use as a reference, and of course, I had to have the movie on in the background. I did, however, jump over to Google Earth at one point to see a more aerial view, and I hate to say it, but I was utterly disgusted with what they have done to such an iconic piece of architecture. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this nonsense. The entire back of the house has this massive extension to make an already big house even bigger for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They also extended the garage and remodeled the entire inside of the house. I think this house obviously will always be iconic. However, the only thing that we have to hold on to in current time is the front of the home. Oh, they also changed the driveway as well. Completely different. It's not the classic one anymore as well, so nice. But today we are definitely in the Christmas spirit with this video, and who knows, you might be opening gifts right now or might have already have opened them. Now, to start this off, we got to work instantly on these stairs in front of the house. I think starting here makes the most sense, and I do have a plan to incorporate small Easter eggs throughout the build from the movie itself. So let's go ahead and see if I can actually make the most realistic replication of this house in Minecraft. It's kind of crazy that we already have the front of the house pretty much already done. Obviously, we still have some minor things to touch up on, but the front of the house is pretty much already done. We kind of put that out pretty quickly. Now, the rest of the house is going to be where the real challenge comes into place. I think the landscaping is going to be, I think, the real challenge here in this project. Now, thankfully, this house is not too large and, super difficult to actually build. It's all pretty much just brick, which makes it extremely simple and easy. And the layout of the house is, well, it's pretty boxy. It's pretty much just like a lot of squares just kind of, put together. So it didn't really take me that long to build this. I think I honestly got this done in about like 5 hours tops, maybe 6, but most builds take me a few days at least. This definitely did not take that long. Now I'm gonna need you guys to tell me at the end of this video how well we actually did in replicating this house, and if it is pretty spot on, if it looks like the real thing or not. Please let me know down in the comments. I am always curious, and trust me, I do read the comments. So let me know if we pulled this one off or not. Shifting focus to the back of the house now, this is where things get a little bit difficult, I guess, a little bit foggy, I guess, because we don't have many references to actually look at. Now, we have a few scenes in the movie that actually show the back of the house, but overall photographs, it's kind of hard to locate, but we did find some of them, okay? We did find some of them. I'll put them up on screen. So these are the images that I actually used for reference for the back of the house. So this definitely should get us by, and we should be able to pull it off with this. I ended up putting the backyard on a slight hill just because I think I built the house a little too tall. I'm not sure, I can't really tell but the backyard was looking a bit funky, so we kind of had to raise it a little bit. It saved me from having to move the entire structure and everything down several blocks. That would have, caused me several complications. So we just added a slight hill in the back. I can't really tell if the actual house sits on a hill. I mean, at least to my knowledge, it does not. It does not appear that way. I know when I'm looking at it, it appears like it's flat ground. It may be on a slight incline. It's pretty impossible to tell, but I don't think it is. But don't worry, we're gonna make it look good with this hill in the back. It's gonna look amazing with it, okay? Promise, trust me. Lads, we have a fair amount of progress done on the house so far. We still have the garage to build. Right now we're going through applying some small details that are on the house. There's like this white trim that goes around the top of the house, kind of like where the roof actually meets the structure of the house. So we're adding that in right now. That I almost forgot this detail. That would have been bad because we need to touch on every detail here. Obviously, this is as realistic as we can get, so we can't miss anything. So we are adding this in right now. We're going to be going through adding some smaller details, and then I think we're going to jump over and knock out the garage. There's like these little things above the window. It's like this little stone kind of like cutout or something. I don't even know. It's just a decoration, right? So we're adding these in. We are also adding this in. We're getting everything, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting everything. Now we are going to be tackling the garage. So from what I can see, which isn't too much, there is a section in the movie that does show the garage when, Kevin walks out into the driveway, and then you can obviously see the garage right there. Pretty good shot of the front of it. However, we don't really see the sides of the garage too much, so I'm kind of going off of the reference images that I have, which may be slightly inaccurate. So for the most part, I did kind of combine those references, from the movie and also, what I could find online. So hopefully this garage looks pretty accurate. I think it turns out pretty good though. So now we are going to be carving out the road and the driveway. To my knowledge, it kind of is this U shape. You know, it kind of has two entrances, at least to my knowledge, it has two entrances. Not now, not current day time, obviously. We saw that earlier, unfortunately, but in the movie, the driveway looks like this. I think this is pretty accurate. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I do think this is pretty accurate from what is depicted within the actual movie. So we're going to be adding this in and moving on from there. Now, of course, we have to add in the treehouse. I mean, would we even really be building the Home Alone house or recreating Home Alone without the treehouse? I don't think so. We have to add the treehouse in. This just would not be an accurate build without it. So we are going to be building this right now. It's a fairly simple build. You know, it's just a box pretty much. We're going to be using this wood here. I might switch the wood up later to something else, but we're going to do this for now. Going over a few Easter eggs that I incorporated into the build would be the blue OK van that Marv and Harry drive. And I went ahead and put Harry actually at the front door. We have him up there because this is, you know, kind of the scene where he's trying to open the door and ends up burning his hand. Now, Marv is actually at the back of the house. He's by the basement door trying to break in down there. And we also added a zip line going from the attic all the way to the tree house because, you know, we all know that Kevin does use this at some point in the movie to actually escape from the house. The last thing that I did end up changing, or I guess adding or whatever, is the tree house. So we ended up redoing the tree house. It looks different. As you guys can tell, we used a different block, different material. I think this right here looks way more accurate to what is actually in the movie. Let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know if you guys think we did pretty good with this. I honestly think I nailed it. I think this came out very, very well. I might incorporate this into my actual town later on down the line. I think it would fit pretty well within Bellevue. if you guys are familiar with that series. If not, be sure to check it out. It is definitely a good watch. Unfortunately, we did have to make the sacrifice of putting the backyard kind of on a hill in a sense, but I think it still turned out very well. I still think it looks really good and close to the actual thing. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the progress, and I think it turned out fantastic. We will be doing the interior at some point in time. I do want to do the inside. I think that would be awesome, and I think that would really finalize this build. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. I might tackle that soon.